FinTech Istanbul has a special meeting today, and we have a very important guest from London, Mr. Clive Cooke from the R3 Konsorsiyumu, right?
Yes.
Mr. Cooke, could you please introduce yourself and your organization to us?
Yes, of course. My name's Clive Cooke. I'm a managing director of the R3 network, which is a network of over 300 banks, regulators, fintech partners from all around the world that are dedicated to the implementation of blockchain technology.
As we are talking about blockchain, we know that Corda is a very important platform. What makes Corda so important, and what is the difference of it?
Yeah, we believe that many of the blockchains that came from the world of cryptocurrencies are very powerful. We think that they are very important. They have paved the way for the way that people will view business in the future. But we also believe that for the world of finance and beyond, that there are some very important lessons that people have learned about some of the blockchains, and that Corda is the only blockchain that is addressing the really important issues of security, of scalability, and that increasingly we are finding that people are building on top of Corda, having started off on other platforms, because they realize that security, scalability, the interoperability for applications is really important. And because Corda was built from the ground up, from nothing, taking inspiration from some of these other platforms, we believe that the community is discovering that Corda is the most appropriate for business.
From my perspective, there is a common belief that Corda is built especially about the financial solutions. Is that right?
That's a really good question you raised there. The standards that the world of finance, because of regulation, the standards that are set by finance are so high that, of course, Corda addresses the issues of regulation. However, Corda is completely appropriate for other businesses outside of finance. And I think increasingly as Corda grows and as R3 grow, we will find more and more applications are starting to be built on top of Corda, because they can guarantee the security, they can guarantee the scalability, and already we are seeing projects in the world of medical records and beyond being built on top of Corda. So that's a really good question. Yes, Corda was built from the heavy burden that finance has to carry with regulation, but it's completely appropriate for other industries too.
So during your presentation, you mentioned that Corda is beyond proof of concept projects, and you have on live, real life projects. Could you a little bit talk about us?
Yeah, there are a number of projects that have been worked on over the last 2 or 3 years, and we believe that 2018 there will be projects that have been born within the R3 network. Only last week we announced that a project with one of our partners has been launched in the field of syndicated loans. There are already some other projects that were built outside of the Corda network that are already up and running in the field of gold trading. But we increasingly feel that as 2018 continues, proof of concepts are great, projects have to be born somewhere, but increasingly the world of finance is looking for solutions that are going to be implemented and not things just things that are going to be talked about. So the last part of 2018 and the beginning of 2019, we will see real definitive products that are coming to market.
For a final question, what is the starting point should be for the companies that want to start to work with Corda or become a member of the R3 network?
Yeah, so Corda is open source, and anybody can go to Corda.net and take the software away and start building on it. That's absolutely fine. We have always felt at R3 that the community, that the network should be as big and as broad as possible. So we have always encouraged companies to become members. We're delighted to be here in Istanbul because right now we have no members in this in this country, and there are 45 financial organizations that are banks in Turkey. So we're very much looking forward to building a community and building a partner base here, because Turkey is an important part of the world for trade and finance.
Thank you very much for your time and those information you shared with us.
My pleasure.